My name's Peter Lake. Today we're in the corporate laboratory in the UK for home care and industrial cleaning. I'm the Senior Technical Development Manager for Home Care. Today we're going to talk about solvents, traditional solvents and the alternatives on the market. Traditional solvents are very good for cleaning heavy soils such as tar and asphalt, very heavy industrial types of grease, and they have their place. They're very good for those type of soils. But they do have issues in terms of labelling, hazard labelling for both human beings and for the environment. They very often from petrochemical sources. They can have issues with biodegradability. Sometimes the hazards can be such that you need to have child safety tops to the bottles in the packaging. And also with the manufacturing environment for very flammable solvents, you may need to have an isolated, specially prepared manufacturing environment making those type of formulations. So at Azelis we've been looking at alternatives to those solvents and trying to formulate and promote those solvents into similar applications. Here at Azelis we decided to promote alternatives to traditional solvents. So that means alternatives which are more sustainably derived, have lower hazard labelling, solvents which are easier to deal with and manufacture, and better biodegradability, so they have less impact on the environment, but they still have the same kind of performance that you're getting from those traditional solvents. Now I'm going to talk about 3 examples of solvents that we offer and we're formulating with. So I'm going to start off with talking about Elevance Clean 1000 and 1200. Now this comes from a patented process. It's a very novel synthesis route that they use, and I think it's around 70% of a sustainable source used in manufacturing these solvents. Now they're very good as a replacement for d-limonene. Now d-limonene you get from orange peel, and it's a natural product, but it has lots of issues with hazards. So it's causes skin sensitization, it's flammable, and it's not good for the environment. But it does work very well as a degreaser. So for things like tar and heavy oils, grease as well, it works very well. So we've done some comparison tests with the Elevance solvent, and it works just as well, but it doesn't have the same hazards. So it's safe for the environment. It doesn't have any labelling, hazard labelling, so it's a much better alternative. It's got a lower price than d-limonene as well. So very often people think that these new alternative solvents can be more expensive, but this is, cost in use, it's more effective. Okay, and this is one of the formulations that we developed with the Elevance solvent. This is with Elevance Clean 1000, and we've done tests on tar, and it works very, very well as an alternative to d-limonene. Okay, our next alternative is MMB. This is methoxymethyl butanol. It's a synthetic solvent, and it's a water-soluble solvent. Again, it's got much lower labelling than traditional solvents. It's readily biodegradable. It's good in eco type of products, but it's also very efficient. So, for example, if you compare against butyl glycol, you may need 2% of butyl glycol versus 1% of MMB in degreasing formulations. And efficiency is where we need to be with these alternative solvents. We don't need to produce as much in the first place, and less is going into the environment after the final formulation has been used, and that's really good for the environment. And MMB, it's very multifunctional. It gives benefits such as being a hydrotrope. It can be used on hands as well. It's safe for cosmetic applications, so you could use it in a hand cleaner instead of d-limonene, whereas d-limonene, as I mentioned earlier, can cause skin sensitization. MMB doesn't have any of those issues. So we think this fits very well with the other solvents we have in our range, and it's very easy to formulate. We've done lots of formulations from plastic cleaners through to leather cleaners, those delicate type of surfaces. It works well in reed diffusers because it's got a low back odour, so it doesn't interfere with the fragrance. And it's very easy to formulate even at high pH and at low pH, and it doesn't have yellowing issues or instability. So it's definitely one that's for the future. Finally, I'd like to talk about the Audio range. And again, this is innovative chemistry. It's mainly derived from glycerin, and it's got the lower labelling that we're looking for. It has good biodegradability, and it has a very small carbon footprint as well. It's an alternative for delimonene. It's also good in aspects such as reed diffusers, and we formulated with it in an oven cleaner, where we replaced, rather than doing a formulation based on caustic soda, we managed to make a formulation without that corrosive labelling you get with caustic soda, and use the Audio in this formulation. So what you have here, it doesn't require any labelling at all on the formulation, not even an irritant labelling. Okay, today we've talked about 3 different solvents, but here at Azelis we're always looking for other solvents. So we have a range of suppliers, and we've looked at solvents from other industries such as coatings, and we've tested them in the lab. So we're always looking for alternatives, because we've got customers out there who are looking for better labelling, and the consumers out there are looking for less hazards from the solvents. They're looking for a better sustainability, a lower impact on the environment. And this is where we should be. And in terms of the efficiency as well, that we need to be using less and putting less into the environment. In our formulations, we're looking at showcasing those solvents, and even looking at using them together. So if you can use 2 of those solvents together and reduce the overall content of the solvent in the environment, then it's a win for everyone. It's a win for the customer, because it's less cost, it's less labelling, it's less going into the environment. The customers are happier, the environment's happier, and it's not just a trend. This is where the industry should be. And here at Azelis, we're trying to do our little bit for the environment, and be at the forefront of that revolution.